it'll give you hyper-diarrhea. Hyper-burrito, 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 give me hyper-diarrhea. Whoa, give me hyper-diarrhea. Whoa, give me hyper-diarrhea. Whoa, give me hyper-diarrhea. Can't give me hyper-burrito. Give me hyper-diarrhea.
Well, I've invented a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. This is our 55th episode. For those of you that are new to the show, my name's Yule. Welcome. This is the first time. Celebrate, everybody. This is the first time I'm actually putting this show on my Yule Carter YouTube channel. So we'll see if that actually works out. Kind of weird. So hello, everybody out there. Say hi. You already have. I know there's a lot of people out there already. Boy, we're full up in the room. There's 10 people, and I've got a special guest coming up in just a moment. I'm just going to let you know a little bit about what we are for those of you out there. Recently, I've been watching some YouTube stuff that I found out it's like 7, 8, 9 years old. And I'm like, where have these people been? And why am I seeing it right now? Weird algorithms. So if you could do me a favor after the show, or I guess after the show, maybe leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this. All that stuff. So who am I? Why does this guy Yule have a comic book show on YouTube when there's so many out there? Well, I am the owner and proprietor. I am El Presidente at the bank for Fantastic Comics. I am a comic book store in Berkeley, California, 1708A MLK Jr. Way. We are on the internet under Fantastic Comics. You might be on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, where you might be seeing clips of this or things that led you here from there. Twitter, Fantastic Comics. And we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 5. It's me and my brother running the store. We have an eBay store, and we're working feverishly on a store website, I guess. Let you know how much I know about anything. We're going to be like Amazon. Why would you ever want to go to Amazon now? We'll have all our stuff there, and you can order from us instead of somewhere down the street, which you're probably doing that anyway, because you're all, well, I don't know, all wherever you're from, maybe stuck at home. So, yeah, we come on every Tuesday, and I talk about comics that are coming out. I talk about comics I read. Talk with a guest sometimes. Recently, I haven't had a person opposite me for a while. We have a rotating cast. This is not necessarily one, but who knows? Maybe this goes so swimmingly, we'll have to ask him back. Or maybe he'll just like beg for an appearance because he has nothing else going on in his life. So let me introduce you all to Miracle Max. Miracle Max.
What up?
How is it going, sir?
Dude, that was quite an intro. That was some good shit in there.
I should have said hi to the audience first. Why don't we do that together?
Oh, hi. Do you want to count off?
Oh, I'm going to do like
One,
Fantinuum.
two,
oh, yeah.
okay.
1, 2, 3. Go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I did say it in chat. Not only is it on the Yule Carter Fantastic Comics YouTube channel, but we're also on Facebook. Maybe someday I'll do Instagram.
That's cool.
But why? Right? I'm on my phone or whatever on Instagram watching. There's a lot of people out there that do that, especially if they're auctioning stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I got something cool. You know, I have kind of a surprise for you. I didn't even tell you about this. Oh yeah, dude. I got us maybe a little unboxing.
Oh, an unboxing. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's go to the 25th minute.
All right.
So we've got 20 or 19 minutes, and then we'll hit that. We'll have an unboxing at 25.
It's nothing like you usually do. It's nothing like you usually get, but it might be something cool. Maybe
whatever. We'll talk about what it is and why you got it, because you usually have a reason behind that also.
Yeah, totally.
Love it. All right, excellent. Corey, hello. How's it going? I love that so much. What do we love? Christine is here. Hello. Oh, you know what? Since we have Christine here, why don't I do this? Oh, no. Save. Gosh, all right, here we go. Down, look at the scroll. You can order face masks if you don't have them already. But she made a comic book specific.
Oh, those are really cool. Those are.
I also now have a championship Dodger one that I've been wearing. It also has a filter thing to. Anyway, that's a thing. Oh, but let me show you. Maybe I can. Maybe we can bring that up if I have the wherewithal.
That's slick, man. Those. You got like the Spidey one, didn't you?
No,
you got the Iron Man. You got Iron Man. That's right.
And now on the inside, there's other characters also. Only I know.
You got Iron Man with the nose.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Iron Man that would have to wear that mask because he's got little nose ports.
Yeah.
Do you think that was because he was like doing cocaine in like the 70s?
Was that what he was doing? I thought he was just a drinker.
I mean, like, you never know. It was a phase.
I'm not a big Iron Man fan. Are you?
Yeah. Oh, I love. Who doesn't like?
Well, me. He's kind of a jerk.
He is kind of a jerk, but I mean, I'm not much of an Iron Man like on his own kind of guy. But I like him on my Avengers team. Like if I'm drafting an Avengers team, I put that in. I put him on there for sure. Yeah, he's cool. I see the appeal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a cool character. I think realized in movie form, he was really great. Yeah.
Oh, totally. For sure. And that's kind of cool. And that's a cool thing about that character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. ATN's here. K Titus, what is up? I haven't seen you in a while. IWK83. I don't know if that stands for anything.
Hopefully nothing.
2 channels. Well, I have unfortunately been getting subscribers to my Yule Carter channel, and that's why I'm trying this today.
Nice.
And all the cool kids are on Instagram. That's why I stay here.
It really is. I got off that. I got off all my other social media except for Instagram.
I only do the Fantastic Comics to say, hey, we're open every once in a while. Maybe
I always appreciate that.
Yeah, I do it more on Instagram though. I just don't do the live stuff on Instagram yet because there's a chance that I don't know. We were talking. Me and my partner were talking about not the partner in my house here, but at the store. That isn't my brother. We're talking about doing an auction, so I do kind of. I have been thinking about doing something on Instagram.
Nice. Yeah, you see those popping off.
Oh no, these are great. I love wearing it. What I do is I do a big rotation of my masks.
That's cool. Iron Man's in there.
All right, excellent.
Nice.
All right, let me get us back to normal. I have to work. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey,
woo, here we are.
Let me put the Fantastic Comics banner up for just a little bit longer, and I will try to get this going. Okay, so the reason why I had Miracle Max on the show.
Yeah, why did you invite me on this show? I don't even really know.
You texted to me.
Oh man, are you going to read our texts on the air?
It's better than showing it. I could have done that.
Oh man.
No. You had something where you said something about the night. Okay. You figured out the anti-life equation that says superhero comics are better than the Image Gunfest nonsense. And I haven't really been able to see you, and this is the first time.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I had a couple thoughts ruminating around my head when I sent that text. First off, I was probably a couple glasses deep, maybe. I don't remember when I said that to you, but
I'm only drinking coffee and water these days.
Oh yeah.
Well, except for on Friday, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit.
So
we don't actually have to get into this right now if you don't want to.
No.
Maybe you don't want to stay for the whole show.
No,
I don't know.
I'm not doing anything tonight, man.
Okay.
My wife and I we're on a super lockdown quarantine, so I'm just chilling. I'm on this thing all day, man. Let's talk comics. I want to talk about something like.
All right, let me share
something fun
with you really quick. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And oh yeah, by the way, it's Frank Frazetta's birthday today.
Hey, wow.
He's 93 now and still working up a storm. Congratulations.
He's
totally dead.
Oh my god, I was like,
I'm gonna put this link in the chat so you guys can all link to that. Or
hey, look, there's a superhero.
Yeah. So this Friday, I was invited on Purchase Channel, and I often have a scroll down on the screen that says the different channels that I like on YouTube. And Purchase is one of them. He asked me to come on. I did. We had a very long chat, and I thought, and it went, for me personally, it felt like no time went at all.
Nice.
So I was drinking pretty heavily. And well, I mean, I was downing them. I was like, gosh, I really need to get some more, but I know I have to go out and get some food too, I mean,
so it's in the title, it's like this is like a hot one sort of thing where it's like if what you're doing is in the title, like if drinking's in the title, then I guess you got to be drinking on the podcast. Like
I personally think you should be, and I mean, what you are doing going in, although some guests don't necessarily have do it.
That's true.
But I think the peer pressure should be applied just a little bit. I mean, we see so little of it these days.
A little bit never hurt anybody, maybe.
So I am going to hope that if I do this, and we've talked comics like crazy, and it's kind of like you said, I don't have a whole lot of people to talk extensively about comics with that can match my wits.
Wow, you that's a mighty compliment.
No, I'm just joking. It's just the certain people are only into like certain things, and unfortunately, and seriously, it's nice to talk to someone young that knows more about what I know about.
Wow, that's nice of you to say. Yeah, it's kind of like a disease or like a character flaw of mine. It's just like anything comics, man. I'm just absorbing that stuff like a sponge. It's like I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
What do you like to read?
Oh, I mean, you know me. I'm a superhero guy. I'm a not just like in a Marvel and DC sort of sense, but like I do love the genre of superheroes. You just showed just a little bit of Invincible, and I sold all my Invincible. But when I was buying that book, I didn't even finish that. But when I was buying that book monthly, that was a great book. And there's something about superheroes that just brings a little bit of Grant Morrison out of me. I just feel like they bring out the best in us. I feel like, Do
you like? All right, so, but what kind of superhero books do you like?
Okay, I mean, I love the Fantastic Four. I'm always going to be buying like your main Marvel books, like your main title Marvel books. I'm buying FF, Avengers, Hulk. Let's see, X-Men. Like those books with like some real history to them. I love that stuff. I'm a big Muty fan. I love the Muties. Can I say that on the air?
Muties. You know what? I mean, for the most part, I think only Fat Scans have been watching my show. So you know what? Yeah, go ahead, Muties.
Oh, we'll get back on that. We'll get
doing that for every other people.
Hold on. But I saw something earlier today. We'll get back to that. Bring me back around to mutants.
Actually,
I'm a mutant too.
I like the Avengers.
Yeah. I love the Avengers. I'll never not read that comic.
You were on the Avengers side against the X-Men when they went to war so long ago.
It's kind of cool. It was good. I don't know. The Avengers at that point was just like everyone around. I don't know. Yeah, kind of was.
If Tony wouldn't have been the way he was,
the thing. Here's the thing: is that I was on the X-Men side that were on the Avengers side because a bunch of the X-Men were on the Avengers side. A bunch of Wolverine's people were on.
Who's traitors? You know who's traitors then. And not only that, he's put so many kids' lives in danger over his life. It's like, all of a sudden, I'm not smoking cigars and
I'm teaching English. Remember when Wolverine was kind of like an English teacher for a little bit in the aughts? I mean, that's the same era, kind of. But like when he was running the school, he was like a literature professor or something like that. I don't know. It was a weird turn for the character. But it's okay. It's good. I liked all that stuff.
So, I don't even really love Wolverine all that much, but
yeah.
He just got oversaturated before he even got his own comic, and then it was like he's in all the X-Men books, and he's got Star Wars.
He's just such a fit. Yeah, he's just tied so much into my childhood, man. No joke. Wolverine, man, can't get enough of him. Yeah, I got. Let's see. What we want to see? What's in my stack? I always got a big stack of comics. I got Crossover. I'm reading Crossover. I'm rereading this because I feel like I read it really fast. The
excellent Tom Scioli.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Godland?
I haven't read Godland. Is that him? No, isn't that Joe Kelly or something?
It's Joe Casey writing and
Joe Casey
Scioli drawing.
Oh,
and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's been on the.
That's a top comic of mine. What's that?
I think I've. This is a cool little Bruce Timm Avengers issue that I think is. I don't know. It's just like it's Avengers 1.5. This is the 1.5 issue of Avengers. Everybody, so this is big bucks. But yeah, it's just Bruce Timm does the whole issue. Doctor Doom fights the OG Avengers. Pretty great. It's printed on newsprint.
Oh, Jill's also about that text. Well, this is we got. Hold on a second. Hold on. We got a few more minutes before the unboxing, and then we'll get into the meat of it.
Okay. All right.
So an unboxing at the 25th minute, guys. It's almost here.
So we're waiting. We're still waiting.
Yeah. I might throw to a commercial before everybody knows what's coming.
Well, hold on. I think if people are looking, I'm loving this book. I just read this.
Chris writing it?
Yeah. This is like, if you're looking for some fun superhero stuff, this is great. These first two issues have been like solid. I hope Professor Logan's a big Chaucer guy. Is he? I don't remember that. I thought he was more like Papa. He was teaching Papa. He was that English teacher that was always teaching Hemingway.
Oh, I love that then.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, Papa Hemingway, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what they said? I like him a lot, but
yeah, that's what he's got. Papa.
All the extra stuff, yeah.
He was even in the Fantastic Four and the news. I don't know about the last one. He was in the Newsboy Legion. Was that some weird like nod?
Wait, he was in an FF issue?
Wolverine?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Hemingway.
Oh, that'd be cool. I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be like
he was a member of the Fantastic Four, right? That was the Art Adam.
But what about the Newsboy Legions? Like, is that like a nod to something, or is Moby T just being funny?
Oh wait, is he being funny?
I don't know, because it could have been like, people love to work.
Maybe it's probably a little bit of both.
He's so old, man. He was in the Newsboy Legions.
Well, he was in something. I mean, you're right.
He was in World War II. He was in a concentration camp. Remember that?
I mean, he rubbed shoulders with Cap back then and Nick Fury, and I mean, he's a Canadian.
Do you remember that Mark Miller issue where he's like in the concentration camp and he just slowly drives the Nazis crazy?
Was that a Carrie Andrews drawn one? Where it's all black and white, basically.
That issue pissed me off because it was just like, hey, Wolverine, why don't you just kill the Nazis and save everybody? It's like, why do you have to play this long game?
But
Moby T's just kidding. All right. The Hemingway and Thing team up issue.
Oh my god!
I love Marvel 2-in-1 too, dude. I love Marvel 2-in-1 as well.
Marvel 2-in-1.
That would be a Marvel 2-in-1 issue.
I'm more of a team up guy myself.
We'll do a debate. We'll do a debate.
Oh, okay.
Team up or two, because I'm a 2-in-1 guy.
Because I think Ron Wilson just isn't really that strong an artist, and the Chick Stone inks. Who cares? I mean, just the fact that I have like 8 or 9 issues of Claremont and Byrne in the Marvel team up, just that alone is better than all of Marvel 2-in-1.
I love the wackiness of 2-in-1, but 2-in-1's got Thing versus the Champion.
I've got that Sandman and Thing issue where they have the bar, the drinking.
Would you believe it's Miller time? I got that issue too.
I just got that recently. I'm gonna be sitting over here.
I love that issue. See, 2-in-1's great, dude.
All right, here's a couple of books I have sitting here that need attention. I want to do a video on this one. This Jeff Lemire Jonah Hex.
That's cool. Is that like did he just do one issue, or did he do?
Yeah, all of these one shots.
That's cool.
And this is a little hard to read because it takes so much time, but this Elvira House of Mystery is a sideways issue.
Oh, I love stuff. That's like the new X-Men issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sick.
So that's what I got lying over here. Someday I'm going to read. Oh, and I also have one other thing. I actually was checking it out earlier to get prepared for this. I was reading GWF Road to Redemption.
Oh, you card, you. That's my comic.
That is your comic. What did you do here? You wrote and drew it?
So me and my buddy, those are my buddy's characters. He created those characters forever ago. He's like a sculptor. My good friend Bob, he wrote and edited it along with me. He wanted. He was always just like, "Yo, man, we gotta make this comic the real deal. We gotta do it." And then one day I was home from college. I was just like, "Hey, you know what, man? Let's hang out with Bob." It just became an awesome, fun project that we worked on. It blew up on Kickstarter. We raised a bunch of money on Kickstarter, and then I put out a trade paperback with my name on it. All our, we sent our what do you call them home? What do you call the Kickstarter people?
Oh, your
patrons or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Send them all home happy. That's that's my thing. It's about pro wrestlers from outer space, but like any good story, it's more than that. And part 2's brewing. It's in the works. We got a call.
Really?
Me and my friend we've slowed down since I moved out to California, but who knows when you got time to work on something next. So, but we got part 2 all kind of laid out. That was a big moment in my life, putting that book out. So I appreciate you. Yeah, check it out. Bad Kids Press out of Somerville, Massachusetts. It's a little small imprint that I helped co-found with a bunch of other great people. Check them out. People like big names or just like people I used to know. There's Jeff, good old Jeff. He was editor-in-chief. You can
name those people too, but I mean anybody that's working in the industry right now or anything?
Nothing too crazy. There was a guy who did a couple things for I forget one of the bigger small press things, but super cool. I'm bugging on the names right now. They'd kill me. But check it out, Bad Kids Press. Check us out on the internet. You just look up Bad Kids Press. We were all over the Northeast. It's cool stuff, man. GWF.
Are you ready for?
Oh man, yeah. Let's do it. You guys ready?
It says I grew up there in MA.
Oh, nice. Somerville, Massachusetts. We were out of Kamikaze, best comic shop in Somerville, Massachusetts. So shout out to Kamikaze.
How many are out in Somerville, Massachusetts?
There's a couple. There's blah blah blah. There's Hub Comics. I'm not sure how I'm I haven't been home in a year, so I don't know. But Kamikaze is number one destination for comic shops in the New England area. So I'm opening this thing up. Am I opening this thing up right now? All right, I'm opening it up. Using my fancy metal ruler. You got any guesses for what's in here?
I'm assuming it's some sort of comic book.
Yeah, man. Sure is.
I don't know. You always surprise me. I mean, like, you know, you were really hot for that first Fox appearance in Batman.
Oh yeah, I got that, and I got that book for a song, dude. I'm so glad I waited on that. I got that book for like $30. Speaking of Batman, though,
$30. This is before, and it's not Tim Fox; it's the other guy, right?
that's Tim Fox's new Batman.
Okay,
It's that book that blew up. This was like it was a what do you call it? It was a new listing. That's what I learned about eBay. New listing. All right, you ready? This is actually nicer than I thought it would be. Ready?
Yeah.
Boom. Batman Adventures #1.
Oh, nice. Let me get that banner out.
Look at Danny DeVito right there.
Yeah, that's cool looking.
Dude.
How much did you have to shell out for that?
Oh, man. $6.
Wow. Is it an expensive book and you got lucky? Oh, okay.
No, you know, it's just the cool, you know, I collect these. I like #1 issues. I like first appearances. And this is like really one of those first, like, this first time it's Batman animated, you know, that's like its own thing on its own, you know, everyone knows.
Well, the other thing about those kind of books is they're usually purchased for younger readers.
Totally.
And younger readers do not, they don't know what condition is.
Oh, yeah. Totally. You're absolutely right, man. So this is, it's got some cool, you know, it's a nice little, pretty.
Oh,
pretty
can you
nice.
hold the back up? Look at that blue tape. I want my brother to be able to see this. That's the blue tape. It's kind of like it's got a texture to it, right?
Painter's tape, man. It's made to be peeled.
Yeah,
it's made to be peeled back off. So it's nice. So that's my newest edition. Little Batman Adventures #1. It's hot because they're thinking about. Did you hear they're thinking about bringing back the animated series on HBO Max?
I have heard things like that. I mean, at least the old stuff is. I'm very happy.
Well, the old stuff's on there, but I hear they're gonna make new episodes of it. That's what I hear.
Excellent.
That'd be freaking awesome.
Can't wait to see the Court of Owls in Bruce Timm style.
Dude, I mean, like, there's all sorts of good stuff. And when they take stuff, when they take stuff, they strip it down for parts and make it way better. And it's cool. I'm sure they're gonna do Court of Owls, and it's gonna be like better than that Scott Snyder comic.
Wow, listen to you.
Wow.
If it wasn't for Scott Snyder, there would be no Court of Owls. What are you talking about?
I'm being a little harsh on Scott Snyder, but it's gonna be streamlined. Scott Snyder's gonna like it too, so he's not gonna argue.
They got all the original voice actors on board.
Shut up, Ray Morales. That is awesome, dude. Making my night. That's great. I'm trying to think who I liked on that show. I liked the Riddler. He was funny for some reason. I thought, man, everyone on that show is just amazing. Oh yeah, I'm sure those people were like wrote a petition, like, please bring back this hit cartoon so we can get some work again, please.
Yeah.
Oh, the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow was great. It was the Lawnmower Man, the dude who played the Lawnmower Man. I forget who it was. He played the Scarecrow. Harley Quinn came out of it. Harley Quinn. Have you heard of this Harley Quinn character?
Yeah, Harley Quinn. And now she's animated and foul-mouthed, I hear.
Oh, it was a great show. 2 seasons. Yeah. It was awesome. I heard they're going to do another one, but if they just kept it at those 2. Oh, that show's great. Oh, my God. That's one of the best DC cartoons since Justice League.
Is Mark Hamill the greatest Joker of them all? Better than Cesar Romero?
I liked, Mark Hamill's the best one, but I also liked the guy they had for the Brave and the Bold.
He had
watched it. Oh, you got to watch that. That's on HBO Max, I'm sure, too. Watch that. I
don't know if it's kind of young. It's a little youngin.
It's good. It's really good. It's not full of youngin. It's perfect. It's really good. No joke.
Right. I mean, I've heard that, but usually that's people that have kids or are going to have kids that say it.
You know who likes Brave and the Bold? You know who vouches for Brave and the Bold? Grant Morrison.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of how I really got into it, because I watched a couple episodes. I was like, it's good, but it's like, yeah, it is for kids. I don't know if this is for me. And then I saw some interview where it was like, they were like, hey, Grant, what do you think about all these movies and stuff? He's like, oh, I don't watch the movies, but I love this Brave and the Bold cartoon. And I was like, all right, I guess I got to watch it. And sure enough, they do the Justice League International. That's why I love it. When they introduce the Justice League on that show, they do JLI pretty much, and it's awesome. It's super funny. Fire and Ice are hilarious, actually.
Well, I know they have a Botswana Beast episode.
Oh yeah, they got Buona Beast.
Beast.
Oh, dude, it's like the kind of the coda. It's like the last Buona Beast story. It's like whatever happened to the Beast of Tomorrow, dude. No joke. Really?
Do they ever have Commandy?
They got Commandy. They got everybody.
Commandy?
They got Commandy, dude. They do. You know what? You know what they do? They make Geoforce a cool character. They have Geoforce in there for like
the dude from
the Outsiders.
Yeah, well, that too. I was trying to think where he came from.
The Outsiders like kind of show up every now and then Geoforce, he shows up and he's like Chekhov from Star Trek. He's like a really enthusiastic, like Eastern European, like handsome dude. It's great. It's awesome. Cannot recommend that cartoon enough.
All right, here we go.
What are we going to talk about?
All right, we're going to talk about your text.
Okay. All right. We got to go back in time. Then we got to go back in time. If we're talking about the text.
All right. So you texted me about the anti-life equation that says superhero comics are better than the Image Gunfest.
Oh boy!
Nonsense. And
let's go back.
What did you mean by that?
All right, so let's start back. Let's reverse engineer this text that I sent you.
I like to know.
So you complained to me the other. I think it was around the time of the attack.
Yeah, I complained.
You didn't complain to me.
Because I usually do.
You were talking to me about how you were like kind of tired of seeing all this like gun violence in comics. It was like a very strange moment. Not a strange moment because I know how you feel about the Second Amendment. But like, I was like, oh, you're really taking a stand against like something that you see and you disapprove of. And it was kind of around the time we were seeing a lot of violence in the government and stuff like that. And you were like, man, I'm really tired of all these guns in these comics and stuff like that. And I don't think it sells. And I don't know. So I'm going to, you got this text. Why don't you start us off with where your mind's going when you're telling me that stuff, So
contrary to popular belief, I am not a gun fan. I personally don't shoot them.
Me neither.
And would never purchase one. And I'm really, hey, I'm down with violence, but I like, your fists to be involved rather than, propellants.
Yeah. So there's that, right? It was that, and then I believe I was like any good millennial. I was trolling around on Reddit. I was looking at some comic book stuff on Reddit, and I come to a thread that's like, "What's your unpopular comic book opinion?" And about 25 people, very unpopular opinion. They bring up, it's like, man, superhero comics fucking suck. They're ruining the medium. Like. Everything about superheroes is everything that's wrong with comic books. And I'm like, man, that's kind of unfair because I don't think you have a lot. I think you don't have a lot of what we got these days without those superhero comics. And I was thinking about like, why do people like superhero comics? Why do people gravitate towards them? And I was kind of thinking about, because you're an interesting cat, you know what I mean? You're kind of a dying breed, you know what I mean? You're like a diehard Dodgers fan, but you're also this like, you're also this real dyed in the wool like geek, like this comic book geek who you love kind of the classic sensibilities. And to me, like baseball and comic books, they really go hand in hand. So I was like, it's like
you mean old is what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a little old, right? Yeah.
But still willing to read new stuff, though.
Oh, totally. Hey, you're still in business. You got to be, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, the superhero comics, there's a set of rules to them, right? There's like an equation that follows like a good superhero comic. And there's just something about like, there's something about a comic book, a superhero comic book that really keeps it, it's kind of a relaxing thing. It's kind of like, you can see what's happening. Whereas some of these other comics on the shelves, man, they're good, they're creative, they got the talent behind them, and but there's just you don't really see the whole picture of what they're trying to do, and maybe it's not totally mapped out, and I don't know. There was something about it that
I like the. Are you talking about like the sequential aspect of the comic being like the story being told to you. Like it's not like this puzzle piece of this one big thing, even though it can be.
Yeah.
Or
so I like you said a puzzle piece of one big thing. It's got to fit in with what happened before. Even if it's got to like totally break down and completely destroy what happened before, it has to somehow like fit in. So it has to play by a set of rules. Whereas some of these books, it's like too much all at once. I was trying to remember a title that came out back when I was working at a comic shop. It was back during like big Image boom, or like I should say the second Image boom, right? So like
when Walking Dead was getting big.
Walking Dead, Saga. What else?
Oh, so when my store was opening, basically.
Yeah, Mind Man.
11.
I remember Mind Management was like a big one. What's some of the? Anyway, I remember one of them came out that was just like, I don't know. And when they were coming out, it was just mostly positive reviews. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is new. This is really cool. This one comic though it inspired such vitriol in the owner, my boss. He was like, "This is one of the worst comics I've ever read in my life." It was just too. It was
Pretty Deadly guy.
It wasn't the Pretty Deadly guy.
Yeah, there was like guys like, "I'll tell you what I think about Pretty Deadly."
It wasn't the Pretty Deadly guy. No, we sold a bunch of Pretty Deadly for sure.
Oh, I saw a ton of those.
Yeah, it was a good comic. And people, and this isn't a knock on anyone who prefers those comics over superhero comics, but I think it's like the unpopular opinion of just like, the unpopular opinion of just like superhero comics all blanket suck. I think it's super unfair. I think that's like saying a whole genre of music sucks, and we all know what that's like. That's just kind of a lame opinion to have. So, I think superhero comics, they withstood the test of time for a reason, right? And it's not just pure consumerism, okay, guys? There's something in there about picking up where someone left off and playing with someone's toys and being venerable to the past. So, yeah, man, I love superhero comics. I'm never going to stop reading them.
All right, let me ask you a question, because this has been going out on the. This is. Oh wait, hold on.
Hold on.
Recently, there has been a lot of people on the internet bitching about the She-Hulk picture in the last issue of Avengers. Have you seen that?
Was it the Phoenix? When the Phoenix saga, she's like facing off. That's how She-Hulk looks these days.
It is. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Dude, I'm a diehard She-Hulk fan, and I think, I think the Hulks are all going through something right now, and I'm cool. I'm glad that she's a part of it. That Immortal She-Hulk issue tied up everything that's happening with that character in a really good way. I love that one shot that just came out, and I love that I love the Immortal Hulk stuff coming out, and she's cool. She's a little different. That's fine. I'm sure she'll be back.
Different. She's a little. She's not as voluptuous as she used to be.
No, she's thick. She's thick. But it all depends on who's
thick. She's like
she's a brick shit house. Oh no.
Yeah, even more than that, maybe.
yeah. I think it also depends on who's drawing her. Like,
like Ed McGuinness.
Yeah, Ed McGuinness is. Yeah, she's got her bounce, little bounce in her step still when Ed McGuinness draws her. And there was another person who was. Those books have that Avengers in particular, so many rotating artists. Yeah, but no, I didn't care. It was literally one page. I'm not sweating that.
Yeah, everybody gets all upset about the female form all over the place.
Yeah, well, strong women come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. So,
yeah. Well, what do you think? Well, so you were saying like the story has to be able to be. What did you say?
You gotta venerate the past a little bit. You have to, or I should say, you have to vindicate the past. And if it happened, but you want to get over it, you still have to acknowledge that it happened, right? So I'm thinking about Hickman. Hickman wanted a clean restart on the X-Men. So what did he do? He's like, everyone's favorite X-Men characters are dead. As opposed to making all these new characters that may or may not sink or swim, I'm just going to get around the death itself, and boom. Skin's alive. Remember Skin? Skin is someone's favorite X-Men, and then all of a sudden he's back alive when he had an ignominious death, if I'm using that word right.
It sounds good.
Thanks.
But I think there's an Onius, but I might be wrong.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. That's fine.
But I'm not the person to be correcting people on stuff like that. I got a lot of words in here, but they slam together and then they come out stupid.
Yeah, it's something. There's something about playing with other people's toys brings out the best in people. And thinking about Hickman, I think I got that that decorum issue that came out. I think it was just one. Praise Bob. I don't know. We're talking about the same Bob.
That's the background that we have going here. Church of the Subgenius stuff.
Oh yeah, cool. I thought that was some good. I'm glad people are into that. That's cool.
Bob Dobbs, baby.
Bob Dobbs.
There's a documentary, but I gotta watch that.
That's cool. This is the second show I've been on with like cryptic triangles in the corner, but that one I think that was an accident. I'm just kidding.
So, what's this about guns? So, are you talking about Image comics of the past? That's kind
of like you brought that up in me. It was like, you think guns are easy story. I think you framed it like guns are just such easy storytelling. You know what I mean? And I agree with you. I think it's superheroes that use guns. I think are like few and far between because it's so easy. You can only show so many cool poses and stuff like that. Like Jack Kirby's characters, Bob Dobbs, brother to Lou. Rest in peace, Lou Dobbs. Just kidding. Fuck
he
that
didn't
guy.
die yet, did he?
No, not yet, sadly.
We're
counting down.
Damn.
What were we talking about? Playing by the rules, playing with other people's toys.
I like playing. I like the idea that some other team is going to come on, take over the story. They're going to shake things up, but ultimately at the end, it's going to remain the same.
Yeah, you go back to the status quo, but they'll remember what happened to them.
Yeah, it's weird because once you start like talking about it that way, it makes you feel like, God, have I wasted my life?
Oh, I've wasted my. I love that bit on this.
Exactly. I'm going to clip that for the show later or some other day.
I hope you don't get sued.
I do so many of them. It'll just. So if you guys want to see a funny wrestling bit that happened last night, make sure you stick to the end of the show because I'm going to play it. And if I get in trouble, this video won't be around later. So you got to watch this.
Man, it's a good one. It's a good if you seldom pay attention to wrestling except for the wacky stuff. This is a good one.
This is the current wacky thing.
This is the current wacky thing. That's just it looks like everyone's having a good time.
So yet another thing to talk about. All right, so yeah, it is an easy thing to have guns also because so you don't see it too often in superheroes. There was a time you saw them in superheroes back in the 90s. I got some pictures that I downloaded.
Really?
First up,
the man Cable.
Yeah,
I mean, Cable, he's a walking gun, so he gets away with it these days.
Well, I love him anyway.
Yeah, that's his shtick.
And then, go figure, another Rob Liefeld.
Look at that gun. Look at that weird gun. What type of gun is Deadpool carrying there? It looks like a super soaker.
An image formed, and then everybody was doing it. And I got a few choice ones to show off.
Oh, is that that's the what?
Youngblood.
Youngblood. Oh my god.
But most importantly, Chapel. This guy here.
Ugh. Whoa.
There are a couple times he actually looked cool, like in this cover.
Wait, go back to the one. Go back to that one. Look at that. Look at his arm. Look at his gun arm, dude. He would accidentally shoot himself in the face. He had that.
He's got that knife, man. Look at that thing. That thing is big. What kind of knife? I love Liefeld. Don't get me wrong.
I like him too, but you can tell when he was just drawing, and then he kind of went somewhere with it, and then he just, I'll just finish the knife. Yeah. Like think about the sheath that thing has to sit in.
I love the skeletons or zombies pulling at his lack of feet.
Yeah, man. He's fine.
All right, here, I'm going to show you a couple cool pictures
right,
of him.
Let's keep going.
Got Quesada. Look at that.
Yeah, that's nice. It's got some man ahead of his time.
I highly recommend getting Team Youngblood for a bunch of different illustrators, but most importantly, there was a Chapel by Jay Lee.
Jay Lee. Good old Jay Lee. Yeah. That's cool. Youngblood.
All right, we got
Cyber
Cyberforce. There's like guns and kissing.
You know what I call Cyberforce?
Huh.
I call them the Top Cow Avengers.
The Top Cow Avengers with guns, though. Look at that.
They all got guns, but they got some cool. They have.
Look at this.
You know, I appreciate that guy because it's not the guns that make him cool. It's his. It's the fact that he has two arms on one side. His asymmetry. I quite appreciate.
Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
And you know who I like out of who's that? The Velocity, the little speedster. I'm always a sucker for a speedster.
They all would have like tattoos on their eye, like other ones. You know,
that's cool. I mean, that's 90s cool. All right. Well, I mean, if we're getting into the Wildcats, I mean, the Wildcats are like
it's all grifter. But then like, Jim Lee goes and does Death Blow.
They're like the top shelf like 90s gun stuff because you can get like Jim Lee.
No, my top shelf is coming up. Hold on a moment.
All right. Okay.
All right. Wetworks, pretty sweet.
Wetworks, yeah. Everything but the name is cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a thing. Also, yeah, wet. It doesn't.
Wetworks, yeah. It sounds like they're peeing themselves.
This is my top shelf one right
Team
here.
7.
All right, so this is a Chucky Dix writing it.
Chucky Dix.
That's what I call him.
Did that mean, if Chuck Dixon was right, did it come out like twice a month for like 5 years?
Dude, he's so good. If I have to read a guy doing a gun wars story, I would want to read a Chuck Dixon one.
Yeah.
But this is drawn by, let me get this banner off. It's Aaron Weisenfeld. And he doesn't do comics. He's like does good art now.
You know what I think my favorite Chuck Dixon is? His Green Arrow stuff with Connor Hawke. I like that stuff. That was cool back in the day when I was reading it.
Dude. That is really good. Well, actually, Connor Hawke guest stars in who's the other karate guy they had back in the 70s?
Oh, Richard Dragon.
That's the one, Richard Dragon.
Yeah, they did. He had his own little mini too. Yeah.
No, it was an ongoing that ultimately ended.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Scott McDaniel did the artwork.
Yep.
It was good.
Yeah.
That's mine with Connor in that one.
Yeah.
All right, so even Batman's had guns recently. Look at that.
Whoa! Oh, Neil Adams, what are you doing?
What do you think about Captain America having a gun?
I wasn't into it.
Yeah,
I wasn't into Bucky as Cap, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I liked.
Look at this. It's ridiculous.
Cap Ed Brubaker, man. If it was Bucky just wearing that classic costume with the fish scales. And maybe he was packing heat with that classic costume on. That would have been cooler. But I hate that shiny thing. I don't know. Whatever. Those are good. Though. Those are good comics, regardless.
No, they are great. No, I don't. I didn't really have a problem with Cap having a pistol. It was Bucky. It made sense. What you'd see is like you're taking your Brubaker and you're putting onto a superhero character.
Yeah.
Where you normally wouldn't have it. But then ever since then, he left, hasn't done Marvel or DC, and all he does is, criminal, somebody with a gun on the cover. And it's like I'll grandfather in Brubaker since he is so good at doing stuff like that. But every new person doing a comic book for one of those other companies is always doing somebody running from somebody and shooting and stealing. And I'm sick of those books. Sick of them.
Man. Yeah, it's just.
Well, you can't do anything interesting with a superhero that you have to go and that's what you're leading with. Oh man, I know a lot of people love Rosenberg, the 4 Kids one.
Oh yeah,
but I won't read 4 Kids. I have no intention of reading that one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's those ones kind of just strike me sometimes. It's just like, you're pitching me a Netflix show, but I don't got the money to produce your Netflix show, so.
It feels that way sometimes, for sure.
It feels. I feel the heat of that coming on. But going, superheroes. Talk about Brubaker, man. When he was doing Incognito, when he was when that book was coming out, that was cool. And it wasn't a dude with a gun. I think the dude had he was just kind of like a tough wildcat, like brawler kind of guy. And then everyone else had like wacky powers. Oh, I loved Incognito. That book was so cool.
He did Authority for a while. And
oh yeah.
it was a really good superhero comic book. I think Dustin Nguyen did the artwork, and it was just really good. And it's a shame that he's. I mean, it's good for him, and I don't mean any. He can do whatever he wants. But as far as comics, there's nothing. There's no. Those guys have left, and they're not going to be doing the mainstream stuff probably ever again. Or if they do, pay attention, because you're not going to get it very often.
Yeah, it'll be some weird little.
Hopefully, it's a special thing enough to where people care. But sometimes when a lot of times when you go to Image, unless you really have, a good podcast you're listening to, or, you're 7 years later, you're discovering this and you're like, what are these guys talking about? And there is no Fantastic Comics anymore. They're like, wait, what's YouTube? What? But you're still on Facebook and you're seeing this right now, and you're like, what are they talking about? Wacky. This is what we're talking about. Brubaker, unfortunately, if you go to another company, it feels like when in wrestling, somebody would go to Impact or TNA.
Yeah.
And they'd be seen in the airport, and you always hear these stories, guys like Kurt Angle. Everybody knows who Kurt Angle is, right? And they go to him and they're like, hey, what's been going on? I wish you'd wrestle. And he's all, I'm wrestling over here. And nobody knows. And that's Brubaker. Nobody knows. But if he was doing Batman, and it was awesome like Brubaker can. But that's what he wants to do. So again,
he's over it. I don't know. If I wrote Batman for 10 years, I might be over it too. I don't know.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's exactly what you'd want to have him on, but I hate even saying Batman. What are you? You're a marketing genius, Yule. You're doing exactly what DC would do. See, look at Low Life was so good. We're not going to ever see that's the thing, though. We're not going to see Brubaker do anything other than his noir shtick. And if I see something else come out, I might like it, but what wrinkle? Or I thought when Pulp was going to come out, I thought, oh, awesome, we're going to see this noir style in a Western theme, but it really didn't work out that way. It was more of a guy that wrote Western, pulp novels.
People like him. To me, it's like those books are good. They kind of read better in trade, I think.
Rick Remender was a good superhero writer, I thought.
Dude, I thought Rick Remender was my dude. You want to talk a good... He was writing... who is the Scott Steiner of comics? We're going to come back to that question. Let me just talk about...
I'll just leave that up. Yeah.
I loved Rick Remender, following his comics through. He was doing Uncanny X-Force, which was fucking awesome. And then at the same time, he was doing that Secret Avengers book, which is underappreciated. If you liked that X-Force stuff, you can find his Secret Avengers that he was doing. Really cool. He was doing cool stuff with like the original Human Torch and like all the robots of the Marvel Universe. And then he did Uncanny Avengers, which was tight.
Captain America.
And he did Captain America, and that was good too. He got
in trouble for that one.
He got all sorts of shit, but he's the dude who's writing Falcon as Captain America. So, that stuff was good.
That's who he got in trouble with. When he started dating Arnim Zola's daughter in the real world.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, like, that was just such a hypersensitive time. Like, we're talking on, that was like 5 years ago when people were, like, super paying, and, like, hot takes were the hot thing, right? Oh, my God, you won't believe what they did. This comic book character.
Are you sure that's not now you're talking about?
I feel like things have chilled out since then. I feel like if that happened now, nobody would blink. Nobody would care.
I saw somebody on, and granted, it's how many people, right?
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm talking about Twitter. I saw, and this was on the Fantastic Comics side, so it's all the good people in the world. We don't follow shitheads.
No.
But somebody was talking, and somehow you get involved in that conversation. Not for me personally, but you see it, and they're talking about Brandon Graham, and I'm like, is that starting up again? And
I don't know what he did, but we don't have to talk about
it. He just has a certain type, and he likes to find the ones that do comic books. Ta-da!
Man, I don't need to know everyone's personal life.
Well,
You know what I
it gets
mean?
out because people get upset. People feel
Yeah.
slighted, and then it's like,
I
it's
wonder.
a whole thing.
Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna I wonder how that's gonna do now that the con scene's kind of like kaput for a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of that comes from being like really invested in the con scene and like going to meet your favorite creators and like paying money to get a commission and like it must be really difficult like hearing something bad about a dude that you paid like good money for his art and like at the same time you like his art or whatever and with wrestling, that can be really hard, but
Wrestling is so hard because it goes from the top, but it's not just them. It's all the way down through most of the performers.
Yeah, and it's just it's a good exercise in like shutting your brain off and just like watching something on TV and not caring what your viewership does. They're selling ad money no matter what, you know what I mean?
Do you think viewers or like for television or what I'm really saying is boycotters, that doesn't ever usually really
works
work
for like big concepts like the Montgomery bus boycott, but it doesn't work,
I'm like, I'm going to boycott and everybody I know is going to be upset with, the She-Hulk situation or Avengers and, until blah, blah, blah,
Well, what people don't realize is that a lot of these especially superhero comics, they exist as a wing of they're like a PR department. You know what I mean? It's like make sure people remember who Captain America is. Oh, they don't? Cut his arm off, something like that. And then it's like,
is that why Roy Harper got it so bad? They just wanted people to remember him,
dude. No, they were like, okay, make the Teen Titans cool, but you can't do stuff with the popular ones. So just fuck around with Arsenal, man. Change his name, change his costume, cut his hands off, kill his daughter.
All right, so who is the Scott Steiner of comics?
Fuck, who just mouths off? I was thinking of Lex Luger for some reason.
Maybe Tom King.
Ooh, Tom King, but if Tom King like used less words, he'd be more like Scott Steiner, who's like Scott Steiner, he says a lot, but he says a little while saying a lot. You know what I mean? I think of Scott Steiner, I think about a dude making his debut on the main stage, the biggest wrestling company in the world, and immediately dropping the F-bomb. Do you remember that? When he showed up in, give me a fucking mic. It was the first thing. First time you hear from him in the WWE. Give me a fucking mic.
We can pick you up. Don't do that.
Yeah, Scott, no, man. And yeah, he didn't last longer than that. So who's a big talker, not a lot of gas in the tank, really.
And
but
can't and doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe and are we talking about their work in the
who I'm kind of thinking of? I'm kind of thinking of Neil Adams a little bit.
Oh, listen to you.
Like he's still just kind of going. Like I love Neil Adams.
I'll tell you what, man. He can work a line. He knows.
And Neil Adams is super important, just like Scott Steiner was super important for wrestling. Like we can all laugh at what a psychopath he turned into, but you go back and you watch the Steiner brothers at the Royal Rumble or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, everyone just copied them.
I tell you what, though, everybody he's bipartisan when it comes to people not liking Neil Adams.
Who,
a lot of people don't like him. Yeah,
I like him. Oh yeah.
I mean, his work for sure, but some of his ridiculousness.
Dude, I just wish he wasn't getting digitally colored. You showed that thing with Batman holding the pistols, and I was like, that would look way better without digital coloring. That would look better with some nice flat wash.
We got to vote up for Frankencastle, for Remender's Frankencastle.
Fucking loved Frankencastle. I loved his Punisher too. Neil Adams is Scott Steiner comics. Yeah, let's get that trending.
Juice is? Maybe I'll tell you who then. Maybe Greg Capullo is the and you know what?
David Mack juices
Twitter and he says stuff.
David Mack's on the gas. I saw him once. He's
really.
I think he's. I could just be making that up.
There you go. Greg Capullo is not natty. If you go to Yul Carter's YouTube channel, I have a Skeletor. Is he natty or not? And it's like a 1-minute video or something.
LOL.
We put all sorts of weird stuff over there, so have fun,
dude.
Would you like to? Oh, go ahead.
No, I just like this. This comparing comics creators to wrestlers game. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that is good. Are you interested by any chance in looking at some comics that are either coming out today or coming out tomorrow?
Fuck it. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Fuck yeah. Let's do it.
All
Wait,
right.
Let me get a nice a cold one.
Oh, man.
Hold I'll get a. Well, no, I should
You know
drinking
what?
water.
While I do this, I'm going to stop my cam because I can do something.
I had cracked open a nice cold LaCroix. Let's see what we're looking at.
Oh,
Hammer.
LaCroix. It's your boy LaCroix. It's not here.
Patton
All right,
Oswalt
so-
writing comics. I don't know, man.
Are you a Patton Oswalt fan?
He's all right.
I liked him in King and Queens.
He's funny. He's funny enough. I like his stand-up. I like his wife. His wife's cool. She caught the Golden State Killer from beyond the grave. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Well, that is pretty good.
Black Hammer's cool though. That's awesome. See, superheroes, dude. Good for Dark Horse for having like a little superhero universe they're mining from again. I think that's.
I'm
cool.
not the biggest fan usually of non-Marvel and DC superhero books. That's not 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Right now, I also like Erratic from AWA.
Cool.
And in the past, I love the Elementals and Mage. If you can call that a superhero book, I love that.
Sure. Yeah, it's fantasy, but yeah.
But you know, those are some of the books I really liked that were somewhat superhero.
Cool.
Anyway, this is all about. So this comes out tomorrow, and this is the first issue of an anthology that is going to have different creators working on Jeff Lemire and Dean Ormston's characters.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love one shots like that. I'll buy those every now and then.
Yeah, so you don't even have to get them in. If you just pick one up, and it's just about a character. I have no idea what this is about, but it looks pretty sweet.
He looks
That
cool.
cover.
He looks kind of like
It's just about a character. Oh, listen to me. Okay. I wanted to make sure everything was still working since I couldn't see a screen.
Radiant black. That's like
Kyle Higgins. He's one of those Scott Snyder guys.
Cool.
But yeah, it's Image, so you should check it out.
Yeah, why not?
Again, it's a superhero book that isn't from. Oh, you know what I think it is they're doing some sort of cross, like a shared universe Image, and I think this is one of the books.
That's cool. I can get behind that.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe Spawn will be in it. Ooh, Eternals number 2.
I like this first issue. I thought
When
it was
people
cool.
were bitching about the first issue, there was that scene where what's that character's name? Imp or whatever? Sprite said something about changing gender because it's been like 25,000 years and they're getting like bored,
Well, they're all just going to look like they do in the movie, which is fine. I mean,
exactly.
if you're going to do that with some characters, like the Eternals are.
I think the Eternals are perfectly okay for it. Anybody bitching about the old Eternals hasn't read the old Eternals.
Oh my god, those are like kind of unreadable. They're cool. I mean, like you can flip through them and it's curvy, but it's just like
the best Eternals is the Thor Eternal saga in like the 190 to 200 or something like that.
Yeah.
Anything else, you don't need to read it.
Yeah, dude, I thought the last issue was some of the best Eternals I've read. Period. I like this. I like
the mystery angle that they got.
And I like how Icarus was a big dummy. Like he was like a brute, which I was like, okay, that's cool.
But he's one of those brutes that has he's shrewder than he's letting on just a little bit.
Totally agree with that 100%. And they went out of their way to be like, okay, why are Eternals different than mutants, different than Asgardians, different than Avengers? Like, why are they? What sets them apart? And it's cool. They're like the planetary. They're like a planetary defense system. So when this series starts, they're all dead, and this is all them coming back to life. And as you can see, old Purple Puss shows up.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Josh
Let me ask you a
Brolin.
question. I can't highlight it, but You Murdered That Guy asked, isn't there a mutant whose whole shtick is they can turn his arms into guns?
Random.
Oh, that's right, Random. I couldn't remember his name. What did Sam Keith did art on those, right? In Marvel Comics Presents.
Oh yeah, Random just showed up in Sword, and I was like, Fuck yeah, random.
All right, Sword. Did you read Ha Ha?
I didn't read Ha Ha, but
Second printing.
I heard funny things.
It's quite the book.
Is it going to get an issue 2? Yeah.
I'd recommend this. It's dark, obviously. Things with clowns, right?
Ooh,
I mean, what are you gonna do? Tell a funny clown story? And since there's clowns involved, and I think each issue is its own different clown or whatever. It's very reminiscent, at least the first issue, of Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children, where there was like clown stories. And it's very, it kind of made me feel like I was reading that, whether they intended it or not. And I like the first issue a lot, and so we're getting that in.
Nice. Ha ha. Yuck it up.
This came out today.
Green Latrine.
Yeah. So when I was on Purchase Show on Saturday or Friday, I mean, Thorne, Greg, I think his name is Greg Thorne, Jeff Thorne, the guy who writes this, was in the chat, and I kind of made fun of like writer artists with him. Or towards him. Well, he's not one, but Sean Gordon Murphy is, and he was in there too. So it's like, don't you just hate those writer artists?
I don't. I think
always taking other people's jobs.
Oh yeah, right.
It was funny. It was humor.
Yeah.
Speaking of, look at that.
I love this weird little Barbarian Hal Jordan story inside the Green Lantern stories. Like, for those people who haven't been
behind right now, actually. So please tell me.
Well, no, they did this in season 1, right? He, when he's bored, he goes and hangs out inside his ring, and his ring has like a fantasy universe inside that's kind of like based on his like memory engrams and like all this Grant Morrison brain science. And at the end, it's very much implied that Hal Jordan is kind of in like a relationship with his ring. Like he's kind of like one of those people who like marries the Eiffel Tower, Did
we ever talk about Grant Morrison declaring himself like gender fluid or something like that?
Yeah, he's always Well, they've always been non-binary individuals. They've always talked about it,
Well, he has. I mean, if you like look at his stories, but it's kind of like if you ever read Clive Barker before it was like well known that he's gay. It's like he's like kind of working his stuff out in his writing.
I didn't know Clive Barker was gay.
Oh damn! I hope I'm right, but I'm pretty sure I am.
That's cool. Well, I think I think Grant Morrison, doing that.
And that doesn't mean that he is. I mean, I don't. I'm just. These are interesting things or themes and elements, and he talked about how there wasn't like the terminology, and this is like not necessarily the terminology he'll be using in the future, but it's the one that most suits him right now. He's like some weird magic cloud dude. Really. Yeah, I think it's cool. Still a dude, though, I think, overall.
I heard someone was talking and they were saying, they go by they, them. I'm not sure. I haven't done too much research into it, but, Grant Morrison.
Oh, yeah.
Always my favorite writer. I'm going to miss him. Apparently, this is their last comic for DC for a little bit.
What, there's the 12th issue still?
This is 12th issue, and then after that.
Oh, yeah. But he's doing something that's coming up real soon that's a kind of like an all ages horror book. I think it's like an anthology, and he's involved in it.
That's cool.
I'll let you know more about that when it comes up. Yeah. All right. Dark Detective, everybody. Number 3.
Haven't been reading it.
Yeah, me either. But most people are saying they're liking this more than the new Batman.
Oh, okay. New Batman.
And it's Mariko Tamaki.
That's cool. She's good.
Yeah. Justice League.
Cool. I like this team.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Justice League Dark. I like the Justice League Dark stuff.
Yeah, Ram V does the writing on that one, I think. Yeah.
Cool. He's kind of like becoming like their like little horror person.
Yeah, horror with the, but he can do the superhero aspect towards it also.
Yeah, it's his turn.
So Swamp Thing, he's going to be doing at least a year's worth of that.
Who's writing this one? I forget.
I think it's Marguerite Bennett, but I haven't read it. The art's beautiful, but it's a little distracting.
Interesting.
That's a cool cover too.
It's cool. Fighting space. I like how her cape is like this, like kind of dress thing. She's got unique. She's a very power girl looking in that.
Mm-hmm.
Rorschach. What do you pronounce that?
Rorschach. I think I've been pronouncing it incorrectly all this time. So it's Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Good cover. Look at that, Cohen and Sienkiewicz.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't. I think I got to issue 2 on that, and then I was kind of like Tom King'd out for a little bit.
Yeah,
this book was fucking cool. I like the first issue of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a little too back and forth in the time for me. I kind of don't like that trope in comics.
I like Red X. I love when they take like an animated thing and make comic book real.
Because yeah. Do you have the Teen Titans Go that has him?
I don't. It's big bucks.
I know.
It's like $150. That's cool.
That comes out tomorrow. King in Black Panther. Oh, Jeffrey Thorne, the guy who does Green Lantern.
That's cool. I love I like, this reminds me of that Jason Aaron 2 issues of Black Panther from Secret Invasion. It's like one of the first like Marvel.
Those were pretty good.
Those were awesome.
Yeah.
It was just 2 issues of fighting Black Panther and his army versus Skrulls. This looks very similar.
Do you think they're going to kill off Black Panther?
In the comics?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Morbius? Any Morbius fans out there? Any
Morbius,
Ralph Macchio fans out there?
The
Karate Kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say I always best around, man. Morbius on his own doesn't do anything for me, to be honest.
Yeah, not me either. I didn't order a lot, so call ahead.
I think going back to what you just said, are they going to kill Black Panther? I think people would fucking hate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. They could like do a story and like they do with Johnny Storm or something.
Oh, I would hate it. It's just like
okay. Yeah, so don't do that, Marvel.
Yeah. Spidey.
Costume change coming up.
Oh.
Put your order in now.
Oh, God, that costume.
It's horrible.
Oh, it's the worst. It's like the worst Spider-Man costume. And I'm a fan of costume changes. I think they're cool. I think they're like whatever. You want to give Thor a big destroyer arm. I'm down. You want to give him Super Saiyan hair. Even cooler. But, man, that Spider-Man costume is something else.
You know what the best part about this book I can see right here is?
Mark Bagley? I don't know.
He's only doing the cover.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Is that it? Is that all we're looking at? That's cool.
That's what I just didn't shut a little bit.
I think I'm out of all those books, I think I'm most excited for the Eternals, man.
Yeah,
I'm such a Kirby head, and Esad Ribic, dude, he's gonna do 4 issues.
Kieran Gillen's good.
Kieran Gillen is fucking good, man.
Yeah, he did the Sword.
He did those 6 issues of Sword that were cool. He did that Uncanny X-Men with Cyclops and his superhero team, and then all of his other Young Avengers, those 24 issues or whatever, those are just freaking rock solid. Man, good stuff.
All right, I think that's this proliferation of gun comics in comparison to superhero comic books. When you say that people kind of shit on superhero comics, I understand where you're coming from, or what you're saying.
They treat you like such an idiot for liking a superhero comic. It's just like high school all over again.
They only see. I mean, even now, a lot of people only see superhero comics as big biceps and big balloon boobs and butts and stuff like that. And there's an element of that is missing these days a little bit.
You can find it. You look hard enough, you'll find it.
You can find it for sure. You can find it. Unfortunately, it just feels like it's not on the pages, and it's more like it's a cover gimmick type thing. Right, we're ashamed that we got J. Scott Campbell to do this Black Cat cover, but only a few of you are going to be able to buy it.
Yeah,
and it's going to make us a lot of fucking money. You assholes. Everybody, I could have sold.
We're so sorry.
All of these J. Scott Campbell covers.
We're
Instead,
so sorry,
you want to make
everybody.
sure he only,
We're so sorry we're putting out this Black Cat comic.
Yeah. You're so embarrassed that I have to buy 100 of them to get that, whatever it may be. Hey, look, we got the creator of Cherry to do a Scarlet Witch cover.
Meow.
Yeah, meow. R-rated. Just R, not X. All right, I'm going to put a commercial on. Everybody, I am also a dude that has I do so many of these stupid things. A wrestling show.
Nice.
What are you wearing, kid? Greenhorn? What are you, blind or something? If you're going to dress like every other curtain jerker here in Chattanooga, jerking the curtain off the wall and wearing it, this plan's never going to work. You need to dress more like the swing man with style, class.
Yep, that's how it is. You can watch me on the Tonkin Balls Network. I'm typing that in right now so that you can see it. Sorry.
That's funny. What was that?
So I'm on a show called The Wrestling Council with Boogie Bentley and Comic Book Bob. They have YouTube channels. Holy cow! And you can check out the Wrestle Council at Wrestle Council on Twitter, and we usually retweet. Oh, and we're gonna have a guest this week. So oh my god, this is so
A wrestler? Is it Dave Meltzer?
Oh man, one time I asked Bruce Mitchell if he'd be on our show like a while ago, and then he got in trouble for all. All right, guys, we might do some wrestling in just a moment. So tell a friend. Because Max, you might want to let us know about your thing there.
What thing?
Your conspiracy theory about.
Oh no.
All right, don't tell a friend then, everybody.
No. Wow. You didn't tell me we were going to talk about that. No.
I didn't know we would. I would just.
That's
I know you shouldn't say that.
No.
All right.
No. I love that company too much. I wouldn't do that. I love that man too much, man. I was tearing up at that whole thing.
The problem is that we are getting reports now of a lot of stuff that happened just prior to.
You know what?
And I'm going to be really beating around the bush right here because I don't want anybody to get all up in arms about anything. Yeah, but that is disconcerting. That's all I'm going to say.
And that his last match, dude, was a doozy. It's not like his last match was like it was like a dog collar match. He took a crossroads on like the ring apron or something like that. It's just I love that guy. I don't want to say anything. Well,
it's all the other people I'm more like talking about. And a lot of those people are people that do things. Did you see that Casey Catanzaro one?
Oh man,
she's like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. When you go out, wear a mask and all this other stuff, and then you see her at this this local place where there's other wrestlers from other companies, and they're all just intermingling with each other close up and everything. And I'm sure I'm a fool for believing all of this stuff, but
no, that's like, I'm heartened by, I don't know. You hear the company's taking a stern hand with some of that stuff. So I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know either.
Yeah.
It's just like, I do know that there's a pandemic going on. So fucking wrestlers should just chill out, man.
Yeah, you would think so. Especially if they're only playing video games, right, Undertaker?
Oh, I know, right? I think that's just a few of them, dude. I think the rest of them are just partying their balls off.
Still
dude.
Partying their balls off. Or getting like, just, I want to get to that gym and get the biceps going, man.
Nah, it's all good. I'm sure the responsible ones are doing what they got to do. And I'm sure the douchebags are still partying, whatever. What you gonna do?
Well, anyway, we didn't get Bruce Mitchell, but we're getting this guy from an E-Fed.
It's like one of those
no, it's like some Twitter popularity thing or something like that. And
is it
you
like
become a champion by doing promos?
Yeah, you write promos and they set you up, and it's kind of like fantasy football, but if you were like really describing the plays that the football plays.
I see.
It's a little more Dungeons and Dragons than fantasy football is. When fantasy football became a
so you mean it's more of a LARP is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah, LARPing's a good word for it. But people write the promos and stuff. That's interesting. That's cool. I mean, I know it's like a real thing. It's been going on for like ever.
Well, we have Justin Hollis from the House of Hollis, and he's going to be on our show 6 o'clock on the Pacific. Everybody on the Talking Balls Network. You can see it down there.
Wait, but in that commercial, who were those wrestlers?
All right, so those guys were from Impact. There was this thing called Wrestle House, and it was this imaginary place or this magical place where, or this. Let's do it like comic books. It's a reality show. It was a pocket dimension, is what it was. Because when they opened the door and looked outside, it was almost like Beetlejuice or something.
Really,
yeah, or Twilight Zone.
You're shitting me. It didn't.
No, I'm not. It's dumb as hell, man. So this is I tell the guys on the Wrestling Council, these dumbass stories that you watch endlessly, but when you boil them down for somebody that cares to know about them in like a 2-minute or a 2-sentence, you can boil it down. It's like, it sounds like it was the greatest story that ever happened.
Oh my God, dude. Like, oh fuck. That's
Impact had a murder at a wedding.
Dude, Impact, Matt Hardy did something to that company. Not while he was there. Like,
there's a lot of people that did a lot of stuff to that company.
Well, yeah.
Crazy Steve and Johnny Swinger anyway. Yeah, sorry, Ray Morales with the answer there. I could have got that one out, but so this is Impact, yeah.
That was yeah, man, that's funny. That's funny stuff.
See, Jill says it sounds better than it was. And Tommy Dreamer didn't know how he got there, but he was basically the guy that would say, "You all have a problem with each other," and he'd be like, "Match time." And
he's he's the Chris Harrison or whatever in the show.
Oh, thank you.
Reality show host, right? Oh my God!
Yeah, crap.
Dude, that's good. That's what wrestling should be sometimes.
It usually is. And just before I end the show, I'm going to show this clip because this probably won't be here tomorrow. So stick around. It'll only be a few more minutes. Jill also wants to let you know about Claire Lynch happened before Matt Hardy. And that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right. Wait, can we talk a wrestling controversy? I got a good one for you.
All right. So this is outside of comic books. I was all prepared to do all sorts of comic book one comic book controversy.
All right, one comic book controversy. Go.
And it's because I asked Max if he was interested in purchasing this comic book.
Oh,
and
boy.
He said yes, because I know this is the kind of thing that he's interested in.
Oh, I'm not.
I even loosely, I didn't say your name, but on Purchase Channel, I mentioned it. And what happened was there was this issue of Hulk where I personally said the guy shouldn't have done it. When you put that Star of David there, you're asking, you're saying, you can talk about all the other stuff. I'm not from this country. I screwed up in my spelling. Somebody in editorial should have said something about it. But we're talking about a jewelry store and the Star of David. And I know because I remember Howard Stern playing Farrakhan, talking about his love of Jews and stuff like that. But here we go. Here's the picture.
Yeah.
And it's just a misspelling.
Yeah. But it's quite a misspelling, though.
Yeah. Blown up, it looks a lot worse.
Yeah.
I mean the picture, not the situation.
When I saw this, and then I saw like Joe Bennett's. First off, I think Joe Bennett's a good artist.
He's a great artist.
I think he's turning in the work of his career right now. The apology was there. I believe him when he says he didn't know what he was doing. Like, we all saw Uncut Gems. I say that as a Jewish person. I saw Uncut Gems like twice. I love that movie. He was probably just going based on what he'd seen on TV and movies and stuff like that. And he apologized. Right. Marvel acted quickly. What more can you hope for in a situation like that? It's not like, what's his face, Adrian Ciaf, who was like laughing about it to his friends on Facebook. That shit's offensive. That shit offended me to the core, and I wouldn't buy that issue of X-Men Gold or whatever.
Wait, you wouldn't?
No, fuck that. I don't know why.
You got that one issue of Wolverine though.
But that's a collectible. That's old.
Yeah, so X-Men Gold, if it were a collectible, it'd be a little bit different.
I don't know. There's something that we've talked about. We've talked about that book ad nauseum, but it's like, I don't know. It's different.
How do you feel? I mean, there are people that are into collecting things so that it never gets seen by anybody ever again. What do you feel about that?
Whatever. Good luck.
That's rough.
That's my
So there's people that seek out those things because those books might not be around in the future, and it might be a Superman. Everybody likes to show Superman or Captain America being all super awesome against, fascists and stuff like that. But
they don't show you. Yeah, they don't show you. They don't show you the other stuff. They don't
juxtapose it with. Well, there's people that do, but then those are the people that seem to like it.
Man, you know what? Going back, but there's some of those. What's up there with Cap punching Hitler though, as far as like smashing fascists. There's a great. I think it's like in Human Torch cover where he is just him and Toro are just like boom doing a loop-de-loop through like this giant Nazi plane, and the plane is fucking huge and it's impossible, and it's got this huge explosion. Man, some of that art offensive, very offensive, but some of the other stuff just hiding in there is just, it's on par with the Silver Age, of course.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic artwork, and unfortunately we're not going to see a lot of it because of that. I wish that we could get, like, there was that omnibus, the one that when Kyle worked at the store, the one that he always talked about was the omnibus of the first 26 issues of Detective.
Whoa.
The issues before Batman showed up. And it's got like Slam Bradley stories, and he had Brubaker wrote really good Catwoman stories with Slam Bradley.
He's Catwoman's baby mom. Slam
Yeah.
Bradley knocked up Selena. That was crazy.
And there you go. So but there's unfortunately a lot of I don't even know how much is a lot, and we're never going to know unless someone, I'm sure on that free comics site or whatever that thing is called, you can probably see the first issues that way.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I guess it will be like legal eventually because of the timing for it, like the Golden Age stuff. I think is legal.
There's so many. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many ins and outs of IP law. It's just like don't carry jigs. But wrestling.
Well, I'm not. Yeah.
Can I
All right, so we're going to end this show soon. I want to put on I want to let everybody know that we have a Patreon.
Oh,
it's Fantastic Comics. If you're interested, if you like, you give us like a tip. You could maybe subscribe, $1 a month or whatever. It helps us with the store. It helps us with the show. I get cameras and speakers and microphones and stuff like that. And eventually I'll upgrade even higher. There's other things that are out there, but most importantly, I want to thank all my patrons. You're awesome. You've helped us, especially when we weren't actually operating as a store. We even had other people. There's other ways that we made money during that time. Actually, I'd like to thank TKO. Anytime someone said Fantastic Comics is my store and I'm buying this book, they gave us half that money. It was like, $15, $30, but that's super sweet. I'm sure I'm blowing it. There's other ones. So like the Bink Foundation, which I kind of crapped all over and then got money from them. So I was like, yeah. Well, nice. It's just like, when you're like worried, but they helped pay like a lot of bills that were due and we weren't making any money. So unfortunately it went to bills, and it wasn't like, oh, I put an expansion on the store or anything, or I bought a crap ton of comics to sell you, But thanks everybody for that. So we're going to be ending soon. I'm going to show a wrestling clip, and then this video, if I don't get in trouble, you can see tomorrow afterwards and maybe make a comment. Hit like on the way out if you did did actually enjoy the show. Or if you want to be nice, just do it anyway. So let's talk some wrestling.
Oh man.
Tell your grannies I'm up talking wrestling with Max.
Woo! All right. So I wake up to so last week on AEW they announced a tournament for the women's title. Bunch of cool people coming in.
Oh yeah.
Number one, the person I was excited to see was Maki Ito.
Oh my God, you're going to talk about Maki Ito? That's my girl, I want you to know.
Dude, she is lady. Fucking hilarious. I've seen some of her matches. I follow her on Twitter. She is so funny. She is exactly what AEW needs in like some shitty heel wrestler. I hope she sticks around. I hope she sticks around with the company forever. I hope she's champion. She's fucking fun.
She would be coming out of the Japanese side, so she isn't necessarily gonna be an AEW bound. But
here's hoping, man.
I like her too. I was actually watching on YouTube the Fallen Idol Maki Ito story.
So funny.
It's about a half an hour, and it's really good. She was an idol, I guess is what they call them. And those big giant girl groups where they dance around and sing. She also then became, like, for a lark, a wrestler, it sounds like.
I think she washed out of being an idol.
She did. She was doing both at the same time, and then as she was actually getting her first wrestling match, she was kind of getting kicked out of her idol career, or it was waning.
And I think that's like really informed her character, and it's just super funny. I'm trying to find this tweet that motherfucking Jim Cornette
talks shit because he hates Kenny Olivier, he says, and he calls Maki Ito Kenny's or Olivier's like fuck doll or something like that.
No, okay. First off,
I know too much about it, but it's funny as hell.
He calls Cornette. He calls Kenny Omega Twinkle Toes.
He calls him. In
this tweet he does. He's
like, he might. He did. He called him Twinkle Toes. That's right. He's not saying it that way.
I don't know, but it's like there's only so many ways you can say that.
No. He anytime he talks about him, he's talking. Well, it might be more Mr. Roper talking about fairies. Okay, but he's talking about dancing around the ring is really what he's saying. I gotcha. So he says, and Twinkle Toes gets another of his fetishes a job on TV, while many talented pro wrestlers sit idle. Better brush up on being a deity of shit, because she'll be seeing plenty on AEW TV. To which Maki Ito replies, this like weird picture of her like covered in candy.
She's like chocolate syrup, and she's wholly declares in her all caps, "I am deity of shit." I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get it up.
Oh my god,
it's so awesome perfect. Because yeah. She's Cornette hilarious.
Cornette does suck, man.
He doesn't suck. He has a lot of. Here we go.
Oh my god, deity of shit, dude. Oh my god, that's so funny.
So is this really a thing that's getting people pissed off right now?
Oh man, it was top of Squared Circle today.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, man, fuck Jim Cornette, dude.
Jim Cornette has a lot of just like any old person, he has some things that probably should be listened to. And you know what? Wrestling, I love AEW too, but let's be real about AEW. There's a lot of flaws.
Sure.
And a lot of the flaws Cornette points out. And I said on the show last week that Talkin' Balls Wrestling Council show that maybe Tony Khan is just like a second coming of Dixie Carter.
Ooh. Except maybe I think he likes wrestling a little more.
Well, he might, but she was a star effer.
He thinks richer.
It feels like he's a star effer also.
Yeah, totally. But maybe he picks better stars.
Well, that might be true.
Wait, but who do you think's richer, Tony Khan or Dixie Carter?
Well, I don't know, man. Panda Energy was really rich, and I don't think she could have ruined it that much with Hogan and Sting and all those other old Sting. Oh yeah, let's start naming some of these wrestlers and see if they're over at AEW or not.
Oh man, Sting.
I'll start with Sting.
That's just Stinger.
I
guess we got Daniels and Kaz, but come on, they got a pass.
They do. I mean, they've been all over. There's a few others, but not really that bad. Oh, like Lance Archer. Well, he made his way in Japan, so it's different.
Dude, not like Maki Ito did. Cornette versus Maki Ito. Book it. I want to see those two fight.
Well, the thing is, it's not that he does. Well, you're right, but I mean, we're talking about a guy that's doing a podcast. You know, you have to that's the reason why there's only 11 people watching and one of them's me, right? Oh no, that's my Yule Carter channel. If I was a lot more combative and talking about all the shit that people hate about comic books, I thought maybe Max would take the bait, but he didn't. So, on for another day.
No, I'm not taking that bait. Keep that bait. I don't need that bait.
No, I don't. I mean, but I think it's like a conversation that can be had. I think there's a there definitely has been a change in the way all the art in comic book has changed, and it's usually because it's all this digital stuff and people from other countries and people not being in bullpens, and there's all sorts of reasons for that.
Man, I should have. You know what, dude? I almost bought that issue right off the shelf, dude, just because of the UFOs around there. I'm not buying that because of controversy, man. I'm buying that issue because of the UFOs.
Oh, you did say that actually, but I knew that controversy might be one of your things, and.
Well, you're going to sell it for me at cover price. I wouldn't pay above cover price.
No, and I said that specifically on the show. I would not sell those at above cover price, but I know that they're going to edit that out in the future digitally and all that stuff. So
yeah, I got to think it's not because of the content. It's because I do have an interest in those books that are like, we're not going to collect this for a reason. It's like why I got that issue of Avengers where Jan and Hank go to Vegas and it opens with them in bed. Using.
You know what the hardest thing to want to let people know is good is like Green Lantern Mosaic.
Oh, because you can't find it.
Well, Gerard, they're never going to collect it because Gerard Jones is a POA,
Yeah, well,
piece of shit. I mean, POS.
Yeah, he's
piece of asshole.
Yeah, that's another subject entirely.
Well, it is, but I mean, it is another subject. Anyway, Max, thank you for coming on the show. Everybody stick around for this really awesome clip that happened on Raw last night. I'm sure a lot of you don't watch it, but know about it. And
I'm sticking around just to watch it again.
That's right. Yeah, stick around after the show, Max, and then we'll talk for a few minutes after. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it very much. And tell a friend if you enjoyed this at all. We'll be back next week. Until then, let me get this going.
Apron. Oh, no. Jokes went leg drop, tailbone first into the hardest part of the ring.
Well, that's all steel reinforcement out there, Tom.
Oh, Lana's still got to find a way to get Jax through the table. Jackson, hey, whoa.